Behold, the most consequential electric unicycle of 2026 and 2027 has arrived. Behold, the Nosfet Xeno. The Xeno features a 126-volt battery pack with 2,200 watt-hours of battery power. The motor has a nominal rating of 2,500 watts with a peak output of 10,000 watts. This thing is rated for going up to 46.6 miles an hour, and this thing weighs only 72 pounds. The Xeno has 90 millimeters of suspension travel, and the big upgrade for this compared to the Aero or the Eon is the fact that these suspension knobs are finger adjustable. I know I'm gonna get some comments about, you're not wearing enough gear. You're right, shame on me. I'm a bad influence. You know, I don't have any sweet jackets that have this logo on it.
If he does, he does.
Anyway, do as I say, not as I do, and fully gear up when you're going this fast. Going 38 miles an hour right now. Again, no beeps, got a full battery. This thing is really nice. Super, super light. Something that does still kind of bother me is the fact that this wheel doesn't really have the ability to mount pads very easily. It's almost as if they were intentional about trying to make it so you can't mount pads easily. It's tough, guys, it's really tough. All right, now we're going into the pothole region. I did turn up my preload a good bit. This suspension feels very much like the Nosfet Eon suspension. These guys have the best track record pretty much on the market. I mean, dare I say, they might have a better track record than Leaperkim, and they are different companies, don't get me wrong. There's a lot of people that think that Nosfet and Leaperkim are like the same company, but they're really not. I think that Nosfet basically took a page from Leaperkim's playbook when it comes to quality control standards. Basically said, you know, hey, I'm gonna check out what you're doing, I'm gonna copy your homework. Something about it, I just have the least amount of warranty claims with Nosfet. It's true. I think I've only had to replace one single Eon motor ever. Maybe 5 motherboard changes ever on the Aero. I've had to replace maybe 4 shocks ever. That's a ridiculous low number of warranty related issues. Compare that to other brands. Nosfet is the undisputed king of reliability. And the fantastic thing about the Xeno is that it has a lot of the same architecture. So for example, we have the hall sensorless functionality. So it's got an emergency mode. If you happen to lose connectivity with your hall sensor, it'll still stay balanced for you. And that's an awesome thing. That's the one thing that if it fails, you're on the ground unless there is some sort of redundancy or safety feature that prevents that from happening. My chief complaint about the Xeno is the trolley handle. And don't get me wrong, this trolley handle is actually pretty awesome in many ways. It has a lever which goes up and down, and you can lift it easily. It's very lightweight. But with it being lightweight, that also potentially poses a little bit of a problem. We have a little bit of a wobblum. It's a bit of a wobbly, not very confidence-inspiring trolley handle. Now you definitely can move it around and do what you need to do, but it just doesn't really inspire confidence that this is very sturdy. But I do like the fact that it does lock up into place and it locks down into place. That's something that the Aero and the Eon, they didn't really do. They didn't lock up in the upright position. So a point in their favor for that, but I just feel like it needs a little bit more material, something that makes it a little bit stronger. This is like practically grab and go wheel type of territory. It's full sized, but like there's so much weight savings. I mean, you compare it to wheels like the InMotion V14 Pro or the Leaperkim Patent S. It's not the fastest wheel on the block, but it definitely gets the job done for pretty much anything that you ask of it under, say, 45 miles an hour, give or take. But the cool thing is, it's able to handle trail riding really well because it's super lightweight, but it's full size. Having the full size tire, the 20-inch tire here, really makes it so you can get over those obstacles pretty easily, but the lightweightness just really makes this wheel super nimble. So it's really awesome for trail riding, in my opinion. But for those people that are not chickens like me, I think this would be a really good jumping wheel because it's so light and it's plenty powerful to do anything and everything that you want. But again, it's a full-size wheel, really lightweight. Pretty much the best of almost every world. Here we're at Helen Putnam Park in Northern California. Let me be the first to admit right now, this is not a technical trail, but I mean, I can't just make a review video on a wheel that's supposed to be great at trails and, you know, not do trails. So here we are, we're doing some relatively mild and flowy trails, and dare I say, pretty scenic. Something I did in the parking lot with this wheel that doesn't show up in the video is a free spin test. And it turns out the manual's wrong. The free spin is actually a little bit higher than what the manual says. I got a 65-mile-an-hour free spin speed. Now, as you're aware, free spin doesn't really mean that much. I mean, after all, you can crank up those numbers to something ridiculous, and ultimately it doesn't really matter that much. But in any case, I thought it was worth noting. I thought it was pretty awesome. And another thing that people probably haven't noticed is the fact that the Xeno has a 2,500 watt rating for nominal power, but it has a 10,000 watt peak power. For comparison, the Librachem Patent S has a peak power of 7,000 watts. Something else that's worth mentioning is that the Xeno does not have adjustable pedal height. Now, to me, that's not really a big deal. In fact, I think that the pedal height on it is pretty much perfect. The wheel does go a little bit faster than what I expected. It's a little bit more powerful than what I expected. It's a good wheel. Yeah, the big gap in the back where it has no pad mounting space, that's definitely going to draw some criticism, and I have to agree. Yeah, I know, it's obvious there's a interest in selling a lot of these, so, you know, I might be incentivized to gloss over some issues with it, but I think I've been pretty clear that the only problems that I have with it lie with the trolley handle, which is relatively small potatoes. It's really not a huge deal. And also the lack of pad mounting space. Those are things that are resolvable. The issues that we truly care about: power, power delivery, suspension, reliability, durability, lighting, all these things, those are the things that we care about. And it really knocks it out of the park in that regard. This is probably going to be the most popular EUC for 2026 and 2027. It captures something unique that we haven't seen for a really long time. The last time we saw a wheel like this was with the Kingsong S22, where basically they have very similar specs, but in this case, this is actually significantly lighter than even the S22. Nosfet basically did everything that they could to shed as much weight from this as possible while keeping the performance as high as possible. So I think this wheel is going to be best for trail riders, jumpers, and frankly, even beginners. Honestly, especially beginners, because you're able to get a full-size wheel in a relatively lightweight package. Granted, it's not going to be as quick to learn as, say, the Nosfet Aero, but it's something that you're unlikely to truly outgrow. If you're looking for something real small, something real compact, this isn't for you. If you're looking for something that is able to go 60 miles an hour, nah, this isn't for you either. But if you want something that is able to keep up easily on city streets, something that you're able to do any trail that you want, this is it. There's just so much that I have to say about this wheel that's hard to express into words. There's some wheels that just have it and those that don't. There's some wheels that I've ridden and I was like, yeah, this is genuinely a good wheel, but I'm not in love with it. This wheel, the Xeno, it just has it. It has that special quality about it that you just don't get with a lot of other wheels. It's just something magical about it. Make sure you get this wheel at the best self-declared dealer on earth, Next Gen Mobility. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you next time.